Hi, I'm Sally Williams and welcome to another Martogg Industry Moment. In a step to reduce their CO2 emissions, Volsa, which is a Coca-Cola brand, have made a huge step recently, launching their beverage bottles without labels, so label-free. That means all the information is bossed onto the bottle. I'm joined by Austin and Ben. We want to chat about this label-free initiative. What are you thinking?
Hey Sally, yeah,
Hi.
it's a really interesting one. It's certainly a fantastic looking bottle.
Yes,
You
it does
know,
look good.
and if you look into I think there's been plenty of articles, but in particular that Packaging Europe article, you have a look at some of the drivers behind why they've made this change, and they're really looking at trying to minimise the amount of contamination in their packaging. So they're talking about saving paper. So without
Yeah.
knowing 100%, I would suggest that they're labelling their bottles that they're labelling their bottles with paper, which would probably also mean that it's a full adhesion to the back of the label. And adhesives is a really big label as well. Is a big contaminant in PET. Through the PET
Right.
washing process, you have a hot caustic wash. That's pretty much the way it's done all around the world. So you do remove the label, and you do remove a lot of the adhesives. But when you have heavy adhesives, that still is a contaminant that we see in PET flake from time to time. So I mean, you only have to look as far as the waste hierarchy, preventing and reducing, to see that it's a positive step forward.
Yeah, so you're all for it. What are your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, no, it's really good to see, Sally. I guess the only criticism that these bottles received was the colour. So whilst they've removed the label, I guess the way for them to differentiate their piece of packaging is through colour. And look, from our perspective as a recycler of post-consumer PET waste and converting that back into food-grade resin, colour is critical. You have to remember at the end of the day we're supplying back into applications that we're using virgin PET, but still the quality of the feedstock and the post-consumer waste, if we can stick to unpigmented PET or plastic in general, it's always going to be the best solution that will lead to a more quality food-grade recycled PET. So look, I think, as Austin said, it's really good to see, and we're seeing more brand owners look at options to try and reduce their carbon footprint and make the process a lot easier. So overall, yeah, it's good.
You're loving it. But I guess from a marketing perspective, if you're a brand, you want your product to pop on the shelf, don't you? So I can see why perhaps with Volsa, I think there's about 3 different colours.
Yeah,
So
they have a green,
done
a
it.
green, a blue, and a grey, which to me, and also just to say as well, I believe that the products are made out of recycled PET, so that uncoloured one is probably just your natural rPET colour. And look, I think that's right, Sally. I think that's always going to be the push and pull between marketing or between brand differentiation and what's best from a recycling outcome. But I think one of the considerations with PET is that we're fairly limited with the applications that we can use it into if we're not using it into food packaging. So I think globally there is a push towards uncoloured PET, and there's other options as well. Like, I mean, as much as this is a label-free product, there's options for heat sleeves or shrink sleeves around bottles as well. You see a few of them on the market, and that gives you really good brand coverage, and you still have a clear PET bottle underneath. But look, I think it's a great step forward. And look, there's other products that are removing labels, like Coca-Cola itself. I've seen a label-free bottle that is able to differentiate based on the color of the cap. So there's definitely different ways to achieve differentiation between the products. But look, overall, fantastic product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm sure there's people that are listening that might want to join in on the conversation. If you've got any comments, please put a comment below, and either Austin and Ben will get back to you, and we can keep it going, because I think it's really, really important. I congratulate them. I think it's great to see. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next Industry Moment.